is Angie, your True Friend Children's Librarian, and I'm here for more stories from the complete fairy tales and stories of Hans Christian Andersen. Today, I have a story for you called The Snail and the Rosebush. Around the garden ran a hedge of hazelnut bushes, and beyond it lay fields and meadows with cows and sheep. But in the middle of the garden stood a blooming rosebush, and under it sat a snail, who had a lot inside his shell, namely himself. "Wait till my time comes," it says. "I'll do a great deal more than grow roses, more than bear nuts, or give milk like cows and the sheep." "I expect a great deal from you," said the rosebush. "May I dare ask when this is going to happen?" "I'll take my time," said the snail. "You're always in such a hurry. That does not arouse expectation." Next year, the snail lay in almost the same spot, the sunshine beneath the rose tree, which was budding and bearing roses as fresh and new as ever. And the snail crept halfway out of its shell, stretched out its horns, and drew them back again. "Everything looks just like it did last year. No progress at all. The rose tree sticks to its roses, and that's as far as it gets." The summer passed, the autumn came. The rose tree still bore buds, and the roses still the snow fell. The weather became raw and wet, and the rose tree bent down toward the ground. The snail crept into the ground. Then a new year began, and the roses came out again, and the snail did too. "You're an old rosebush now," the snail said. "You must hurry up and die, because you've given the world all that's in you. Whether it has meant anything is a question, and I'll have had time to think about it, but this much is clear enough. You've done nothing at all in your inner development, or you would certainly have produced something else. How can you answer that? You'll soon be nothing but a stick. Can you understand what I'm saying?" "You frighten me," said the rosebush. "I never thought about that at all." "No, you have never taken the trouble to think of anything. Have you ever considered yourself, why you bloomed, how it happened, and why just in the way and in no other? Just that one way and no other?" "No," said the rosebush. "I was happy to blossom because I couldn't do anything else. The sun was warm and the air so refreshing. I drank of the clear dew and the strong rain. I breathed and I lived. A power rose in me from out of the earth. A strength came down from up above. I felt an increasing happiness, always new, always great. So I had to blossom over and over again. That was my life. I could do nothing else." "You've led a very easy life," said the snail. "Certainly. Everything was given to me," said the rosebush. "But still more was granted to you. You're the one with the deep, thoughtful nature, one of those highly gifted minds that will astonish the world." "I've no intention of doing anything of that sort," said the snail. "The world means nothing to me. What do I have to do with the world? I have enough to do with myself and within myself. But shouldn't all of us on earth give the best that we have to others and offer whatever is in our power? Yes, I've only been able to give roses. But you are so richly gifted. What have you given the world? What do you intend to give?" "What have I given? What do I intend to give? I spit at the world. It's no good. It has nothing to do with me." "Keep giving your roses. That's all you can do. Let the hazel bush bear nuts. Let the cows and sheep give milk. They each have their public, but I have mine inside myself. I retire within myself, and there I shall stay. The world means nothing to me." And so the snail withdrew into his house and closed up the entrance behind him. "That's so sad," said the rose tree. "I can't creep into myself no matter how much I want to. I must go on bearing roses. Their petals fall off and are blown away with the wind, although once I saw one of the roses laid in a mother's hymn book, and one of my roses was placed on the breast of a lovely young girl, and another was kissed by a child in the first happiness of life. It did me good. It was a true blessing. The roses are my recollections, my life. So the rose tree bloomed on in innocence, and the snail loafed off in his house. The world meant nothing to him, and the years rolled by. The snail had turned to earth in the earth, and the rose tree had turned to earth in the earth. Even the rose memory in the hymn book was withered. But in the garden new rose bushes bloomed, and new snails crept into their houses and spat at the world, for it meant nothing to them. Shall we read this story all over again? It'll never be different. The end. That's the end of The Snail and the Rosebush. I hope you enjoyed. Bye, friends.